What's going on, guys, and welcome to my live review for tonight's edition of Monday Night Raw. As you can see, I have a big smile on my face, and that is for good reason. Raw was very, very good tonight. I can't tell you the last time that I enjoyed an episode this much from start to finish. This is what Raw needs to do going forward. It needs to effectively utilize 3 hours, which I felt like they did tonight, advance and progress stories, create intrigue. They can do it if they really want to. I hear 3 hours is too much, and yes, it is too much, and I wish they would go back to 2 hours. But tonight was an effective use of those 3 hours. You built throughout the show. You took a number of storylines and you weaved them throughout, and you left that hook at the end and made you think, well, I wonder what's going to happen next week. And let me tell you, I can't wait for Raw next week because I will be live in attendance at Raw at PPG Paints Arena in Pittsburgh, PA, and there is a massive match announced. Triple threat, Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe, Braun Strowman, and Brock Lesnar will be there, and Miz TV with Jason Jordan. So, wow. What I've liked from Raw recently is the fact that, well, yes, it was better than Battleground. Absolutely, this show was better than Battleground. And it's funny. We were on the 1-year anniversary last year around this time on July 25th. I went to the best Raw of the year in Pittsburgh, PA. And tonight we got a really good episode of Raw. Like, this got me excited for SummerSlam. I'm ready for SummerSlam after tonight. And we'll waste no time. Let's talk about how we kicked the show off. We had Kurt Angle come down to the ring. He addressed the controversy from last week. We didn't have a clear winner. Samoa Joe, Roman Reigns, their match went to a no contest when Braun Strowman interfered. It was great seeing Strowman come back. Samoa Joe came out, Roman Reigns came out, and Braun Strowman came out. They each lobbied their case to Kurt Angle as to why they should each be the rightful challengers for the Beast Incarnate's title at SummerSlam. And Kurt Angle said, all right, I've changed my mind. And I found it funny because I'm like, well, that's Vince. He had something that he was going to do, and he ripped it up, and he changed his mind. So a little bit of a Vince McMahonism thrown in there. But Kurt said, and as we kind of all expected, but I'm fucking ready for this match at SummerSlam. It will be a fatal four-way match for the Universal Championship. Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar. Right now, the Raw main event scene is very, very good. From the way that they've built up Samoa Joe as a legit challenger to the feud between Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns, I've loved the hell out of that feud. And, the stuff they did between Joe and Lesnar. I mean, Raw's main event scene is very good right now. Compared to SmackDown, it's night and day. There's just no comparison. And the writing has been very good for all three. Well, should I say all four of these guys involved. And I just love the fact that this segment broke down into chaos, anarchy. We had all three of these guys, beating the shit out of each other. They had to bring security. Braun Strowman was throwing security out. They teased a showdown between Strowman and Joe. That's a match I want to see down the line. That's a feud I want to see down the line. Braun Strowman versus Samoa Joe. And Ultra Shadow, thank you for participating in the live chat. Live chat is open for this review, guys, so be sure to leave your thoughts on Raw in the live chat. Get the conversation going. He asks, do you think Roman Reigns needs new gear? Yeah, I think he does. I think they need to get him away from the Shield look, but they're obviously not going to do that, so don't get your hopes up. But I really like the pull apart. The locker room came out. This felt like a big fight feel. I love the way that they're building these guys up to just beat the ever-loving shit out of each other. And I cannot tell you, and maybe you guys know better than me, when was the last time you were this excited for a fatal four-way match? I mean, this is the rightful match to main event SummerSlam. This is my main event of SummerSlam. After last year's disappointing main event, I really hope this one delivers, and I think it will be. You throw all four of these guys in the ring, combustible elements, it could make for one hell of a good match. And it'll be great to see Samoa Joe be in the main event of SummerSlam, Braun Strowman with Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. I think this is going to be really good stuff. And next week, live in Pittsburgh, the Beast will be on Raw. So this is a really great way to start off Raw. Just chaos and unpredictability and exactly what this show needs. We then had Elias Sampson versus Finn Balor in what I thought was a good match. I thought it was the best match between these two. I thought they worked a nice pace. They told a good story of Balor working, actually Sampson, I should say, working over the injured arm of Finn Balor. He had the kinetic tape. I hope I got that right. The tape that the injury tape that they put on the shoulder after Balor got blasted last week by Sampson with the guitar. I thought Balor really, I love his comeback. I love his fire. And like I said, him and Sampson, they went out there, and I thought they had a pretty good match, I'd have to say. As Balor, they utilized the chair in this match. When Balor was whacking away at Sampson, I thought that was nice. And just as Balor was going to go for the coup de grace up top for the win, lights go out. Bray Wyatt appears, costs Finn Balor the match. Sampson gets the win, and it looks like we're going to be getting a feud between Finn Balor, Bray Wyatt. So I like the way that this was done. Got Bray Wyatt into the mix. It further intensified the issues between Finn Balor, Bray Wyatt. Sampson was able to get the win, albeit with the help of Bray Wyatt. But, all in all, I had no problem with this. And like I said, I thought this was a good match between Finn Balor and Elias Sampson. Definitely the best match that they've had to date. But I've enjoyed their last two matches as well. But I'm happy to see that Finn Balor and Bray Wyatt are finally moving on to the feud that we all thought they were going to have way back in April. So after this, we have a backstage interview with Kurt Angle. Renee Young's interviewing him, talking about, well, how do you feel about Jason Jordan? Tonight, your son is going to be making his debut on Monday Night Raw in in-ring action. Kurt says he has butterflies in his stomach, and then Emma interrupted him. I felt so bad for Emma. We knew after we saw her make the remarks about her not being utilized properly on Raw on Twitter that she was probably going to get some crappy booking on this show. And Kurt Angle said, well, you won in-ring competition. Tonight you're going to be in the ring against Nia Jax. And, yeah, wasn't a good night for Emma. Emma certainly deserves so much better. But what are you going to do? We had Enzo Amore come out. He took on Big Cass in a rematch from Great Balls of Fire. It was really all Big Cass once again. Cass pretty much wiped the floor, hit the running boot on Enzo, and it's pretty much a wrap. 1, 2, 3. Big Cass wins. Afterwards, Cass begins to beat down Enzo. Big Show comes down to the ring, and I like what Cass did here. He actually held Enzo hostage and said, Show, if you get in the ring, I'll freaking break his neck. And Show eventually did get in the ring, but he was beaten down by Big Cass, who threw Enzo to the side. He beat down Big Show, hit multiple, I think 5 or 6 Empire elbow shots onto the Big Show's chest. And yeah, I thought it was an effective beatdown. I'm actually, believe it or not, interested in a Big Cass versus Big Show feud. Like I said, I keep going back to the fact of what Big Show was able to do with a guy like Braun Strowman and really help him get to, another level. And I think putting him in that role, perfect role for Big Show, perfect next opponent for Big Cass, who I think over time will come into the heel role. I really like how he just mouths off to the crowd and, his mannerisms. And I think over time, if he could work on that, we'll see how far he goes. But I definitely see potential in Big Cass as a heel. And I'm looking forward to seeing, the impending showdown between him and Big Show at SummerSlam. Like I said, this episode of Raw, it really, really clicked for me. Like, all 3 hours. Usually that's not the case, but tonight was the case. Nia Jax versus Emma. As I was saying earlier, had a feeling this wasn't going to be a long match, and Nia Jax, this was impressive, though. She hit Emma with a front flip senton. That was very impressive to see for somebody as the size of Nia Jax, but certainly getting better every week. But poor Emma. Emma, she didn't stand a chance, and Nia Jax beat her in what felt like under 5 minutes. I don't know. But Hunter, what's going on? Thank you for joining me. Live chat is open, guys. Keep that dialogue going. And as the review continues on, thank you for joining me. And let's talk about the cruiserweights. I actually liked what they did. Wow, shocked. I like what they did with the cruiserweights tonight. Holy shit. It's like somebody different is writing this show lately. Is it a certain Ryan Ward? I don't know. I've just noticed lately that Raw has been getting better. Maybe it's just me. But Tozawa, who had a shoulder injury, and he wanted to compete tonight, but Titus O'Neil said, I'm not going to let you compete tonight. Tozawa said pretty much, fuck it, I'm going to the ring, and I'm going to compete anyways. So he comes down to the ring. He calls out Daivari, who was scheduled to be his opponent until the match got called off. Then Neville, the king of the cruiserweights, who's fucking awesome, comes down to the ring. He belittles Tozawa, taunts him, and pretty much says, you're a joke and you're a shell of your former self. And Tozawa pretty much got right in Neville's face, decked him, hit him with running top rope senton. Daivari came down to the ring and attacked both Neville and Tozawa. So I was like, holy shit, we actually got some character development from the cruiserweights. It was very refreshing to see. You know, you actually felt bad for Tozawa, and I thought Neville would have surely just beat the shit out of him and, you know, laid him out, and that would have been the end of the segment. But no. And it actually was not that bad, like you said. So I actually liked, for once, what they did with the cruiserweights on Raw. Like I said, this show just felt like everything was on point tonight. And we had a backstage segment with Sasha and Bayley hinting at some animosity between them ahead of their match later on in the show. And also, no more purple ropes on Raw, which I'm glad. It's just so stupid to tape the ropes purple. I mean, if that's one thing you're going to delete from the show, I'm glad it's been deleted. Good riddance. And we then move on to Sasha Banks versus Bayley. Number 1 contenders match. Really good match. I like this match a lot. Didn't come close to the classic that they had, but I thought just as the match was, you know, beginning to pick up, crowd was getting into it, you know, Sasha and Bayley, they just have such great chemistry. You can tell that these two love working with each other. And like I said, it started off slow, but after they came back from commercial break, the match began to get into that next gear. And just as the match was beginning to go, Sasha Banks went up for a frog splash. Bayley rolled Sasha over, and surprisingly, to me, pinned her. I didn't see that coming. I thought for sure Sasha Banks would have walked out, the number 1 contender, to face Alexa Bliss. So at SummerSlam, it will now be Alexa Bliss versus Bayley. And I know at first I'm thinking, do we really want to go back to Bayley versus Alexa Bliss? Because I was really not a fan of their feud. But hear me out here. That look that Sasha Banks gave Bayley, if they're actually going to go somewhere with this and they're planting the seeds, I think it could lead to either 2 scenarios. Somehow it gets turned into a triple threat with Sasha being added in. It could. Or perhaps Sasha Banks turns heel out of spite, out of jealousy of, you know, Bayley's fluke win and costing her another opportunity at the Raw Women's Championship. So there's that possibility of a heel turn. I like it. I'm intrigued, and I'm interested to see where it goes. I would have rather seen Alexa versus Sasha at SummerSlam. Easy for me to say. But like I said, that look that Sasha gave Bayley, I think says it all. And I think this will lead somewhere. Let's see where the story goes. And hopefully it leads to a good payoff. But yeah, really good match between Bayley and Sasha Banks. After this, we have the debut of Jason Jordan Angle on Monday Night Raw. His in-ring match against Kurt Hawkins. Thought it was short, sweet, to the point. It put over Jason Jordan, his athletic ability, just the way he was able to. I love when he belly-to-back suplexes people and suplexes people in general. I think down the line, if Brock Lesnar re-signs, I think 2 matches that I would like to see is Brock Lesnar versus Chad Gable and Brock Lesnar versus Jason Jordan. With the collegiate wrestling backgrounds that both of those guys have, I think that would be really interesting stuff to see. But you guys tell me, would you be interested in seeing this? Let me know. But yeah, Jason Jordan hit a back suplex into a neck breaker. Nice looking spot there for the win. Successfully wins in his debut on Monday Night Raw. Like I said, beat Kurt Hawkins. Nothing really too much to say other than this match did what it needed to do. And we then have the Revival after this. They come down to the ring. They have an in-ring interview segment. They talk up the fact that, they're here to claim their spot as the top guys, and they remain undefeated and they have been undefeated on Raw. And that continued tonight on this show. Anderson and Gallows, who came out, and I thought they were kind of teasing, acting like tweeners, which was interesting. You know, they weren't really acting like heels like they normally have been. And I'm thinking maybe them acting as tweeners would be the best way for them to go moving forward, because let's face it, them as heels, you can't take them seriously after the way they've been booked. So if you're going to turn them, maybe not go full babyface, but have them in the tweener role, maybe that's the best thing for them. But they had a solid, you know, decent match here with the Revival versus Anderson and Gallows. The Hardys come out on stage, leads to the interference on Anderson and Gallows, who were distracted, allows for the Revival to hit the Shatter Machine on Anderson and Gallows for the win. So Cesaro and Sheamus are shown watching backstage on the monitor. So I wonder what direction they're going to go in for the tag team title picture for SummerSlam. I think it may be Fatal 4-Way. And if you're going to do two Fatal 4-Ways, might I suggest an addition to this Fatal 4-Way? Let's do a Fatal 4-Way TLC match. What do you guys think? Fatal 4-Way TLC for the Raw Tag Team Championships? Sounds good to me. Or a ladder match, or, you know, whatever. Ladder match would be good. But a TLC match between all four of these teams, you have the Hardys back. Why not? I'd do it. And like I said, we then move on to our main event. Not a bad match between Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, who teamed up for the first time in 3 years versus The Miz and The Miz Taraj. There was one scary-looking bump. I missed it. I don't know if you guys caught it when I don't know how it happened, but Bo Dallas apparently hit his head off the ring ropes. I missed it. I hope Bo's okay. Hope he doesn't have a concussion. But it was really all Miz and the Miz Taraj. They really worked over Rollins until he was able to get the tag to Dean Ambrose. And then it was nice seeing Ambrose and Rollins work together on the same page, kind of taking us back to the days of the Shield. And the match kind of got out of hand towards the end. Miz tried for the skull-crushing finale on Rollins, but he hit the springboard off the top, hit the knee in the face. Ambrose comes in, hits Dirty Deeds on the Miz, and to my surprise, Ambrose and Rollins won. I was like, okay, I thought somebody was going to be turning heel, but I still think that might happen because I still think the seeds are planted for that. And I like that. It created interest and intrigue with the way that they went off the air here. Rollins stood in the ring with the classic Shield fist pose, and he wanted Ambrose to join him. Ambrose backed out because he still does not, for good reason, does not trust Seth Rollins. And that's how we go off the air here. And like I said, I thought main event wasn't bad, and I liked that little intrigue at the end. They also showed Sheamus and Cesaro watching backstage on the monitor, so perhaps Ambrose and Rollins in the tag team picture, or we could see Ambrose turn heel on Rollins or Rollins turn heel on Ambrose. I'm not sure. And who's challenging The Miz for the IC Championship? Perhaps Jason Jordan. We'll have to see. They could do a 6-man tag at SummerSlam. I heard that was the rumor. I don't know. I still see Dean Ambrose turning on Seth Rollins. That's my prediction. I don't know. I like it. We don't know what's going to happen. I see you guys are suggesting stuff in the live chat. And thank you for bringing that up, Hunter. Yeah, Ambrose did cut a good promo. He said, you have 3 people to worry about. He has 4. So once again, planting the seeds of doubt. And I liked the fact that they brought up the continuity. They didn't just have them become friends again, like they did with Rollins and Reigns. That made no sense. I mean, after Rollins stabbed them in the back and you're just going to be buddy-buddies, makes no sense. But with Ambrose and Rollins, they've actually followed up that continuity, and it makes sense. So all in all, guys, my grade for tonight's edition of Raw, I'm giving it an A-. I really, really, really enjoyed this show. And like I said, I am excited to be in attendance live at PPG Paints Arena, Section 110. If you see me on TV, I'll be sure to wave. I will be live in attendance for Monday Night Raw next week in Pittsburgh. We got Brock Lesnar. We got a triple threat main event, Reigns, Joe, Strowman, and Miz TV with Jason Jordan, along with what else goes down. You give it a B+. Be sure to leave your grades in the live chat before we go off the air here. And let me know what you guys thought of Raw. And, of course, as soon as this video is I might bring a sign. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll bring my Make Raw Great Again sign. I'm not sure what I'll do, but anything could happen on Monday Night Raw. But I can't wait to be in attendance for Raw. As the road to SummerSlam truly feels like it's heating up after tonight's solid edition of Raw. I am truly looking forward to Raw next week. Giving it a B. We got B plus, B. Like I said, I'm going a little high, A minus. I was close to a B plus, A minus, but hopefully next week is good. I'm excited to go to Raw. That's all I can say. So that is it, guys, for this live Monday Night Raw review. I want to say thank you guys for being a part in the live chat. It's always great having your feedback. Be sure to leave your comments as soon as this video is uploaded. And be sure to click the like and subscribe button to on my channel here, youtube.com/DanielGuys412. Be sure to follow me on Twitter @DanielGuys412 for all my latest thoughts and opinions on the product. And without further ado, I will catch you guys in my next video, whenever that may be. So until then, thanks for watching and have a good night.